Welcome to the Rise2Shine Podcast with Noelle Kustas, where we ignite the spark to discover your favorite self. It is time to get real, ladies. Hey there, beautiful friends. Welcome to the very first episode of Rise2Shine Podcast. I am your host, Noelle Kustas, and I am absolutely thrilled that you are here with me today. I want to extend the warmest welcome into the cozy corner of our podcast world. I envision this to really be your safe landing, a place where you can cozy up with a cup of coffee, or maybe just find some peace in your morning commute, or perhaps when you're doing school runs with the kiddos, maybe even tackling your laundry or making dinner, because I know that is when I love to listen to podcasts as well. But no matter what you're doing, I really just want this place to feel like home for you. Just a place to be inspired and to connect with a community of amazing women just like you. That is my hope for this podcast. And I really want to express my deepest gratitude to having you here and just tuning in, giving me a chance by joining us and this incredible journey that we're going to be on. Your presence here means the world to me, and it is like the biggest chef's kiss that you can give somebody. So I do really, really appreciate you. I'm going to be honest with you. I am feeling all the feels today. I am super nervous. I am excited. I have butterflies in my stomach as though it was the first time as a little girl that I was going to Disneyland. I remember these same types of feelings. I remember the butterflies in my stomach. I felt like I was going to throw up. And I also was just filled with so much excitement and wonder and possibility, but I was also terrified of those huge roller coasters that I knew were waiting for me. So, same exact feelings as I'm walking into this journey with you guys today. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to see for those of you that are watching. Some of you are just listening in, but to have a microphone in front of me and to be doing this is really surreal. It's really surreal. And I just want to say welcome. Welcome to my world. Here's the scoop. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Noelle Kustas, and I'm going to be your guide on this very cool adventure, I guess we could say. And I actually just hit the big 50. So, yes, I have hit the milestone, the half century mark, all of the things that we call it. And really, realistically, I believe that age is just a number. I can laugh at this because I remember my husband and I actually getting married. And in our vows, we said that we were going to grow young together. So I believe that with all of my heart. I believe that I am just in a new chapter of life. And it's just exciting. It's something so different than I guess what I had initially expected. Um, Heck, if I'm being honest, it's funny because so many people at my age are actually thinking about retirement. They're thinking about the second half of their life to be a time where they can relax, put their feet up, maybe travel, do all of the things that they have been dreaming about. And me, on the other hand, I am sitting here feeling like I get another opportunity to live out the second half of my life on my terms and kind of with a new sense of purpose and direction. It really is just a neat space to be in. And I feel like, the journey is different for everybody, but this is my journey. This is what I'm doing. And I couldn't be more thrilled about it. So, speaking of my husband, let me go ahead and give you a little glimpse into the loves of my life, who I am, a little bit about my background, so you can learn a little bit more about me, because I think that's important as we move forward, that you know who I am and what I'm about and what I stand for, and who is the tribe that surrounds me. So, first up, of course, is my incredible spouse. His name is Andy, AKA my Greek guy. I actually got a second chance at marriage, and I met Andy when I was 41 years old. So, ladies, all the single ladies, please know there's always hope. If you are feeling despair in that area, there's always hope, and there are really great guys out there. So, fun fact, we met by swiping right on an app, on a dating app. I say fun fact because this is really a hilarious story that I may share with you guys one day, because it is really, it's part of my journey. And for those of you that know me, know that that whole dating world, especially online dating world, was absolutely terrifying for me. But I will tell you that it was nothing short of awesome in the long run, and absolutely meant to be. So, again, there's hope in that area too, ladies. There's hope in that area too. If you are one of the listeners out there going through all the things. In addition to my amazing husband, I also have two kiddos, and I'm going to be calling them kiddos for the rest of their lives. Whether they like it or not, I'm going to be calling them my kiddos. But I have to say that it is actually a really special day today, because it is my daughter's 22nd birthday today. So, big shout out to my daughter, Alexa, who is turning 22 today. And yeah, I still can't believe it. I'm kind of still in shock that she is that age, but I like to think of her as the most amazing, or one of the most amazing things that I have birthed in my life. So I figured, why not celebrate her milestone by birthing something else that is extraordinary? Cue the podcast launch. So definitely was a fun way to launch this podcast, but we can't forget about my awesome 15-year-old son, Ryan. He is my rainbow baby, and he's definitely a mama's boy through and through. There's no doubt about that. I don't know if he loves for me to share that information, but as I tell him on Instagram or any of my social media, hey, it's mine. I get to share and say what I want. I do try to always have respect for the kiddos, but sometimes he's like, "Oh, mom, why did you post that picture?" But I just think they're amazing souls and amazing humans, and I'm so grateful that I get to call them mine. I also have two precious babies in heaven that I cannot wait to meet one day, and I know they are waiting to meet me. So that is a little bit about my family, my immediate family, but really and truly my entire family, extended family, extended ex-in-laws, all of the things, they all are so very important to me. And they are such a huge core value in my life. And I'm sure you're going to hear a ton about my family through this journey of Rise to Shine the podcast. And you'll get to know them as well, because let me tell you, we have had a bumpy ride here in our family. Maybe not, I guess we wouldn't even say bumpy. I'm going to say a roller coaster of a ride. It is definitely juicy. So we'll be diving into that through some of these episodes, I am sure. But I will say too, we have a whole lot of love between us, and I am very, very lucky because of that. Now, aside from family, my background, what gives me some credibility, I guess you would say, joy to even be sitting here having my own podcast. I mean, I guess anybody can start a podcast, but I do want to let you know that I'm not just some gal that's hanging out thinking I want to talk into a screen and into a microphone each week, but that I do have some credibility here. I actually have all of my life experiences, which, like I said, they play a huge part in this journey. However, I was also a teacher for over 24 years. I taught elementary school and junior high. It was amazing, but I did take a leap of faith and retired early to become an entrepreneur. I didn't even know exactly what I was going to do, but I knew that I was going to do something that I would be teaching outside of the traditional walls of a classroom. Well, lo and behold, I ended up getting certified as a coach. That was about 2 years ago. And I really decided that I wanted to specialize in working with women to help them gain clarity and purpose in their lives because of what I had been through, and also just knowing that women are such a gift to our world. And I really started to realize that my superpowers were to be an encourager, to be a connector, to continue being an educator. And that is where I find so much joy and purpose in my own life because I love lifting up other women and cheering them on to their greatness. So that is a little bit about my background. And when I'm not working, you can find me in the sunshine in Southern California. I am a beach girl. I also love the lake life and definitely enjoy traveling with my family. That is a big plus for me and has been something kind of newer in my life in the last 10 years since I met my husband. He has introduced us to just having that travel bug and just that zest for life. I feel like it's the Greek in him. Although he's lived in the States his entire life, he definitely has that, like I said, that zest for life. And, I just feel like he embodies a culture that is just so beautiful. And he wants us to be exposed to the world around us. And I am so grateful for that because that also gives me so many more experiences, gives me a different lens. As a matter of fact, I'll just give you a little tidbit. My son is heading to Barcelona this summer. My daughter, she had studied in Greece for a semester in college, and now my son's going to Barcelona for the summer to do a summer Spanish immersion program. And we're just so excited. Oh my gosh, so many exciting things happening. But getting back to all of the things we love besides travel, or all of the things I love besides travel, is really I love to binge watch documentaries. Love them. Love a romantic comedy. Definitely love those. I love diving into a good book. I absolutely am obsessed with music. You will rarely see me hanging out without music on. Love it. And I also enjoy watching sports, especially when it comes to football season. I love golf. I love to watch tennis and watch out when the Olympics are on. I am totally locked in to my television and love that as well. But don't want you to forget that I also love pink and I love anything sparkly. So let me play in jewelry and I am absolutely in heaven. So that is definitely a little bit about me. You get a little glimpse into my world and what makes me tick. And I can't wait for us to share laughs and stories, maybe a few cries here and there, because I am a crier, gonna say it. I know when to hold back for the most part, but I definitely cry over happy and sad. I typically wear my heart on my sleeve. That is how I roll for sure. But I'm really excited to share just so many life lessons with you. And that will get us into what to expect from the Rise to Shine podcast, because this podcast isn't just going to be about listening. You can absolutely grab your journal or take notes. You might want to do that because really it's going to be about, and again, you don't have to do that, but it's really going to be about experiencing transformation. It's a place where inspiration is going to meet empowerment, and we're going to have actionable tips that are going to pave the way for your personal growth. And again, have just a safe haven to explore and discover all of the ways that you can shine in this world, because goodness knows we need more people shining in this world. So, my mission really is simple, it's to empower women to create a life that they love. I'm all about cultivating joy and purpose and authenticity in every aspect of life. That is truly what I'm about. We are going to embrace meaningful conversations and practical strategies. Each episode is really going to be designed to uplift you and to also inspire and ignite that flame that may not be all the way out yet. So that is what I want to do. So we're going to get ready to dive deep in some of our episodes. Oh, there are going to be solo episodes where I will be teaching or sharing. And then there's also going to be every other week, we will have a guest that will be coming in and speaking to us, with us, about their own journeys, their own stories. I really believe that there's power in stories and there's power in experiences and what women have experienced in their own lives. There may be women guests that are coming on for the sole purpose of really teaching us something and how we can put that into action in our own lives. So let me tell you, the lineup already that I have is incredible. It is incredible. And I'm so grateful to be connected to so many powerhouse women and just women that have such a heart for people and want to share their message. And I just think it's incredible. So excited. So excited. But let me just really quickly, before we wrap up, I want to just give you the vision behind Rise to Shine. That is the name of my company and now the name of my podcast. And it really came about from embracing a dream. So there comes a moment in all of our lives, I think, where we just know that it's time to step into our purpose. You know, sometimes it happens for us when we're a little younger. Maybe it's when we're going through a midlife situation, but it's the time when we know that that we are ready to embrace our calling. So for me, that moment came from a flame ignited by the women who have always believed in me. And that is my grandma, who you will get to know as my Glam Gram, and my mom, who have always seen something in me and spoke over my life and have always, really shared with me that they felt that I was made for big things and that I was meant to be a light to others. And in fact, and let me preface that with, staying in a place of humility. I never knew what that meant. I just remember that they always spoke that to me. And, I felt like I was doing that in the classroom, and I still believe that I did that in the classroom in my career. And I really try to be the version of myself that is honoring others. And, I'm going to say it wasn't always like that in my younger days, and I've made my share of mistakes. I will absolutely share that because here on this podcast, we're going to be real, we're going to be vulnerable. But I will say that they always spoke that over my life. And as a matter of fact, my grandma shared with me probably when I was in my 20s that I was going to speak on these big stages. She had a dream that I was on this huge stage and that I was speaking to a sea of people, and that it was going to be something that was going to be impactful. And that always kind of stuck with me. And I always thought about that, but I didn't really know what that looked like. And here we are, lo and behold, on a podcast. And she didn't know that podcasts were going to exist when I was in my 20s. That was like 30 years ago. She didn't know that. And so now I look at it as like, oh my goodness, this is part of that dream that I get to reach more people. And although I may not be on a huge, massive stage yet, I like to say yet because one day you never know. Never say never is definitely something you're going to hear me say a lot. But at 92, my grandma gets to see me host my very own podcast. She's just learning what a podcast is, quite frankly, but she's getting the realization that this is something that it's sharing a message among the masses. And how cool is that? I just love it. So the name Rise to Shine actually came from something different, which also has a ton of meaning. So, just to let you know a little background on that, I was sitting and journaling one day several years ago, and I literally heard this voice in my head say, Rise to Shine. And it was loud. It was loud. And I thought, oh my goodness, did somebody just say that to me? I kind of caught myself looking around. I heard that come out and I couldn't get it out of my head for days. And I knew that it had significant meaning. I remember calling my friend and calling my mom, telling them, I don't know what this is about, but I'm just going to share this with you so that way you know, because if this comes to fruition, you're going to know that this happened and something in my life is going to be called Rise to Shine. I kid you not. This is absolutely what happened. I now have my mom and my friend as my witness. It did become originally the team name of my team that I had in, or that I have with my side gig of selling jewelry. So that's kind of where it started, but I knew it was bigger than that. I knew that it was going to be bigger. So now it has a ton of significance. And I really look at it as rising is just the first step. But the shining part is where the magic happens, because this is when we get to embrace our potential. This is where we get to step into our own power and we get to really let our authentic selves glow. And better than that, we cause a ripple effect to spread joy and inspiration to touch lives beyond even ourselves. So that is what Rise to Shine is about. That's the vision. That's how this podcast came about. That is how the name came about. And when you hear that, I really want you to feel the fire within you and the spark of possibility. That's my dream, is that you will hear that and that can be your invitation to rise and shine, to rise to shine. Right. So, anyways, this is going to be, I just know, and I'm believing that this is going to be a place where it is going to be a community of women lifting each other up and lighting up the world with our hearts and our minds. Because again, that is what we need in this space. So now that you've gotten to know me a bit and you've gotten a little vibe, as my daughter would say, you've gotten my vibe, you have the essence of Rise to Shine. Let's go through some of the logistics really quickly before we wrap this up. All of the podcasts will be released on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, you're going to have a new dose of inspiration and empowerment waiting for you. And we just want to create a consistent rhythm that you will have to really help you get through the week. There's, like I said, going to be solo episodes, guest episodes. I'm so excited about that. And like I said, you're going to love it because I truly believe that when women come together, we do better together. And we do better when we're really each other's biggest fans. And you'll know that that's coming from one of my dear friends, Charity Majors. She says that all the time. And, we want to be each other's biggest fans. So it's also where we can sharpen each other. I love that as well. So, if you would like to dive deeper outside of this podcast, I do want to let you know that you can connect with me outside of the podcast. There's a few ways that you can do that. I live on Instagram. You can find me at joyful_Noelle, and you will get a glimpse into my life, my business. You'll get motivational quotes. I talk about being a transformational coach for women and always giving tips, tricks, all of the things there. So that's a great way to start. But if you want like a one-stop shop, you can visit my website at rise2shine.co, and you are not only going to get all of the places that you can connect with me, but you're also going to get some information on my program, some of the different offerings that I have to help women. And there is a whole umbrella of I say rise2shine.co is just the umbrella of all of the things that are underneath that serve you as women. So whether you're scrolling Instagram or browsing my website, connecting with me, another great way to connect with me, if you want to be in our community on Facebook, we do have a private group called She Shines Collective, and that is transitioning into a space where, if you are seeking just women, a community of women that are coming together to really get to know them on an intimate level. This is a podcast. So, of course, you're listening, you're taking action, doing all of those things. But this is where we become a community and you get to know other women that are a part of that community. So, that is also a great option for you. And I really want to help and be a part of your lives, to light that spark within you. And before we part ways, I want to again express my deepest gratitude for showing so much enthusiasm and encouragement as we launch this podcast. I can't say it without like this huge smile. I just can't believe it's actually here. And if you've enjoyed this episode, and I truly hope you have, giving it a review. I'd be so honored if you would follow and subscribe to this podcast. And then if you feel like this would be a benefit to others, please share the message. I would be honored if you did that too. And your support helps me more than you even realize. So with that, my friends, thank you for tuning in and being a part of my very first episode. Remember, it's never too late to step into your purpose and create the life of your dreams. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and know that the best is yet to come. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for joining me here today. Your presence means the world to me. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider leaving a rating and review, and don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Head to the show notes and let's connect. Rise2Shine Co. is ready to support you in coaching, collaboration, life tips, or even a coffee chat. Until next time, keep shining, my friends.